Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Lady Bella here, and I'm so excited because today I am starting the new series on community management. If you're someone that is looking forward to building, growing and sustaining online communities, then this channel is just right for you. So don't forget to click the subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you won't miss out on all the valuable insights that I'm going to be sharing on community management. Let's get straight into today's video. So have you ever wondered what community management is, how this field works, what you can do with it, how much you can earn, how to navigate it basically? If you're that person that's always been interested in community management as a field or as a career path where you get to earn money working from home, then you are in for a treat, because I'm gonna be sharing all the tea. I'm gonna be spilling all the tea. I'm gonna be teaching you all I know on community management. Obviously the field is evolving, so I won't say I know everything, but the little I know, I'm definitely going to share them with you. And yes, I look forward to your feedback. So when you hear of community management, what comes to your mind? Let's give ourselves 5 seconds to think about it. Did you get an answer? So honestly, it is everything you see it to be, but what I would say to you is, when community management comes to your mind, try to break down the word community management. Community, let's say community is the coming together of people from diverse backgrounds, right? So you have a group, or you have a place that has so many people there, and half the time it's usually people with the same interests. So that's a community. And then management is basically managing those people in that community, right? So that's like the basic definition that I'm trying to give right now, so you kind of get where I am coming from. Just like I said in my intro statement, community management is the art of building, nurturing and sustaining online communities. Now don't get me wrong, it might also be an offline community. The same principle still applies, but then you're going to make a few changes here and there. But in online communities, your major goal is to build, to nurture and to sustain. It's a place where you make people feel welcome, a place where people of same interests come together. You make them feel welcome, you make them feel heard, you help them engage, collaborate and grow. You're seeing it as that space where people can count on you to be able to lead them in the right path. And communities can be hosted in various places, various platforms. Like I said, there's offline and online communities, but I'm mostly going to be dwelling on online communities, right? There are various platforms that you can use to manage communities. We have Discord, we have Slack, we have Twist, we even have WhatsApp, and we have Facebook groups, Twitter communities, LinkedIn communities. LinkedIn groups rather. There are so many platforms that you can use to manage your communities. And honestly, whatever platform you choose depends on what community you're managing and what works for that community. Let's say for instance you're in the US and maybe Slack works for you, and you use Slack to host your community, and then you're trying to break into the Africa region, for instance, where people are mostly used to WhatsApp. In some parts of Africa where people are mostly used to WhatsApp and Telegram, and you try to introduce Slack, it's going to take a little time for them to adjust and move to Slack or Discord, right? So the community you're leading, the platform you're using to manage your community, solely depends on what kind of community you are building at a time. So now, what's the role of a community manager? I have talked about community, a place where everybody comes together with a particular sense of interest, learn, and not necessarily interests. You can have diverse people from diverse, backgrounds looking at achieving various things. They can also be in a community. But then, what then are the roles of a community manager? That is one question I don't know how to give a direct response on, because community managers wear many hats. Like, you are a cheerleader, you are a manager, you're a coordinator, you're a facilitator, you're a problem solver, you're an idea bringer. You're doing so many things because, let me drop this. You're doing so many things because people count on you to feel welcomed. People count on you to feel heard. People count on you to feel comfortable, right? So you're getting complaints here, you have to solve it. You have to cheer up someone who is not really active in the community. So you find yourself wearing many hats and doing so many things. So you see, and the problem is dealing with humans is a completely different thing, because now you're dealing with people with different mindsets. You're dealing with people with different mindsets, and as a community manager, you have to balance it out. You have to handle these people without making one person feel unwelcome. So with all these things combined, a community manager fosters a sense of belonging while still ensuring that the community aligns with the missions, the values, the goals. Because for a community to exist, there is a goal. For instance, the community I led, Figma. Figma is a tool, a design tool, an online collaboration design tool, and then they broke into the community space. Now, obviously, the main purpose of having a Figma focused community is to promote the tool and get people together to, learn and use that tool. Now we started having communities in different cities of the world, some cities of the world, the majority of the cities in the world. And then we had community advocates. I started as a community advocate, and what I basically did was build a small community in my city, Uyo, where I brought designers together. Oh, there's this new tool that you can use, Figma. It is so amazing. This is what you can do with it. So for the mere fact that they were part of that community, I started sharing learning resources with them. Teaching them how to use Figma, sharing design resources. If there are design gigs, I'll share with the community, and that's how it grew. Right, and over time I advanced to the position of a regional lead, which was actually recommended because our regional lead at the time wanted to step down, and he just gave me called me up. Bella, what's up? I think you would be a perfect fit for this position. You have been doing an amazing work in your community for the past couple of years, and I was an advocate in 2020. My advocacy started 2018 or 2019, 2020, 21, 22. Yeah. So I led the community for 4 years as an advocate, and then in 2022 he recommended me for that role, and I took it up as a part-time contract role where I was now supposed to manage the Africa region in general. So I'm managing the Africa region. That means you're seeing people from what's it called? You're seeing people from Cotonou, Nairobi, Senegal, Togo, Nigeria, Ghana. So I was managing a lot of people from diverse backgrounds. Like when I mean diverse, really diverse backgrounds, speaking different languages that I don't even understand. And that was a very huge challenge for me, because taking up that role, we're just two females, or we're just two ladies. Sorry, we're just three ladies in the whole advocacy group. We're three ladies as advocates. We had one in Tanzania, and then we had one in South Africa, and then there was me. There was no other lady. So taking up that role, it means that I was managing over 90% of guys and maybe about 10% of ladies, which wasn't fair to be honest, because honestly in this part of the world, like, people see you like, you're a lady, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. So it was a bit challenging when I took it up, and I had a few rebels here and there, but I just had to let them know that, I'm the original lead now, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's either you fall in line or you get out. And guess what? They had to fall in line, because over time I started creating structures. I started creating things that would just help me interact with them more, make them feel more welcome, make them feel comfortable working with me. Because people just have this general mindset that ladies are difficult. Who told you that? If you've worked with me before, you can tell that I am an angel. Yes, it gives bragging rights, because the people I've worked with can outrightly say that to you. right? So I still had to, as a community manager, I still had to maintain Figma's values, Figma's mission, Figma's goals. I remember one time we had a conflict in the community. I somehow had to manage it before Figma even gets to find out. And it wasn't even how would I put it? It wasn't even something that should have given me headache if I had taken a second look at it. But it did give me serious headache because I was still getting into the role, and I didn't just want a role that I just got into to get taken away from me. And there were a couple of other things that happened along the way that would have jeopardized my role, but it didn't because I somehow learned to navigate it. So in as much as you're a community manager, do not forget that there is a reason why that community exists, why you're leading that community. There are missions to uphold, their goals to reach, their values. So as a community manager, in as much as you wear these many hats, being everybody's cheerleader, being everybody's therapist, being everybody's this and that, you still have one ultimate thing, which is to ensure that the community you're managing aligns with the goals and values of that community or that product. Okay, so that takes me to the next part, which is key principles of community management. Don't forget that I'm going to really dive into these things in the subsequent episodes, but this is just me touching bases. So I'm going to be dealing on 2 principles right now, and the first one is communication, the second one is engagement. Now, when we talk of communication, honestly, as a community manager, you need to know how to communicate. Now, I still bring that back to my own story. Imagine being a community advocate, leading your small city and just basically trying to bring everybody together to learn. And English is the language you mostly communicate in. And then all of a sudden, this shoots you up to the regional lead where you have to deal with people from diverse backgrounds, people that speak Swahili, people that speak French, and other kinds of languages. What do you do in that point? It was a huge challenge for me because I could have a meeting right now and the French guys are not able to contribute because their primary language is French. And if you have to communicate with them, you have to take your time, So that was a huge challenge for me. I noticed that some part of the community members were really active in the meetings and some were not. So I had to send out surveys and I got to realize that it was language barrier. I mean, in terms of communication, I tried to maintain a very professional tone when making announcements, when giving out instructions. But then the rest of the time, I'm always very casual because I want you to know that I am a community manager. I'm just here to put things in place. I'm not here to make you feel like I am bigger than you, or I'm not here to make you feel like I'm not worthy for you to, or you're not worthy to talk to me or something like that. So I try to communicate in a very casual tone with everybody. But I mean, when it has to do with serious things, of course you'll find me in professional tone. So I had that communication issue of, basically language barrier, and how I basically solved that. I started using Google Translate. I started employing so many things to do, like using of Google Translate during meetings, creating like a collaborative document. Okay, I could ask questions, translate it to French. Okay, type out your responses in French. Feel free. I am going to interpret it. Over time, people started getting used to the fact that, okay, Bella is always going to compromise. Bella will try to make this, easy for us. So they started showing up in meetings. They started participating in meetings. So yes, communication is key. You have your community members. You need to know what they want. You need to know how they feel about your meetings. You need to know if you are communicating with them or if you're just talking, right? So, and you basically do this by sending out surveys and asking questions. And by the time they tell you, you're definitely, based off on the feedback that you're given, you're going to figure out ways to be able to manage the communication better between everybody. The second thing I also talked about is engagement. You don't just assume the role of community management and start dishing out orders. How do you engage with your community members? How do you participate with them? If they make a post, do you comment on their post as well? If they ask questions, do you answer their questions? If they need your help, do you come to their help? Do you check in on them? Do you ask them how they are doing? These are things that help create a bond between a community manager and their community members. The littlest thing as how are you doing, or how's your day going, or what are you up to, makes a community member feel really welcomed. And in a community where you have in a community where, I don't know why I was looking at that place, I think I was distracted for a bit, but in a community where you have a huge members, the best you can do is just throw an open question, and people can comment, people can react, people can ask questions, and you interact with them. That way it helps you calm down a bit and interact with them, engage with them. It will make them feel welcomed, such that if they have any issues, they can say, oh, don't worry, my community manager is going to sort that for me. And that means they built that confidence over time that you're going to respond to them. Okay, so after all this long talk right now, you might be wondering, why community management? Why should I be a community manager? My darling, it's a lot. And aside from the fact that you're gonna make some cool cash as a community manager working from home, there's a huge benefit, especially for businesses and products. So communities can serve as a place for growing, sharing knowledge, emotional support, collaboration. That's where you see people to collaborate with. That's where you see people with same like minds, same interests. So let's say I am building a design community, for instance. If you come to my community and you're looking for a designer, you will definitely see a designer. If you're a designer and you're looking at growing, you're looking at upskilling, you're looking at collaborating, of course you're definitely going to find someone that is also interested, because it's a community that has like minds, right? So a community is just that space that helps with emotional support. Have you gotten a bad client before? Do you have any complaints, or you want to talk about something that's really been bugging you? The community is there to support you. People are there to share their stories. People are there to tell you how they navigated through that part. And then for businesses as well, they can leverage on communities to build their products, to get customer feedback, to ship our products to an audience, to get feedback, to get loyalty. When you as a company or as a business create a product or create a community around your product, around you, people will feel like, okay, this company is in support of me, and in turn they give you a loyalty. So let's say you just launch a new product, or you're looking for feedback or something, they are willing to give it to you. So this is something that a lot of companies have started embracing, and more will keep embracing. That's why I feel like the best time for you to start learning about community management and how it works, even if you don't go straight up into it right now, the best time is now. Just learn, just understand the dynamics, know how it works, because in the next few years a lot of companies are really going to adopt the community management strategy to grow their products. You will be a valuable asset. Okay, so after all this long talk, oh, this is community management, that you may be wondering, okay, so yes, I understand how community management works. How do I make the money? Honestly, companies right now are starting to embrace community management. That is why you need to tap into it right now, because by the time it starts getting hot, it's going to be a bit difficult to really get into the field, in the sense that there are already people that established themselves in the community management space, so you're trying to compete with those people and all that. But yes, let me tell you this, community managers earn a lot of money. In Nigeria, for instance, you might see companies willing to hire for 150k, 200k, 300k, and in as much as you can earn higher than that, there's always a starting point. And before I proceed with the pricing thing, let me just point this out. Do not start off as a community manager expecting to outrightly earn 300k, 500k, 1 million naira and above. You don't have to start outrightly expecting that, because you're new in the field. You need to grow, you need to build a community. People need to see what you have done before they are willing to stake such an amount on you. But if you're lucky, I mean, there's some companies that are willing to stake an amount on you as salary, and then you just do your thing, right? But as community managers, based off on research, in the United States you can earn as high as $59,000, and $59,000 divided by 12 months is about $4,900 plus dollars. So let's say give or take $5,000 every month as a community manager. Now imagine you're working as a community manager from Nigeria and you earn over $5,000 per month, $4,000 per month, $3,000, $2,000, or even $1,000 per month. Our currency fluctuates, all right, but imagine you're earning such in dollars, and by the time you get paid every month, you just need to convert your cool cash to naira and you have your money, right? And based off on how companies have been reacting to the role and how they've been looking more into the community space, there's a high chance that this estimation will increase or will double up in the next few years to come, because as a community manager, you're an asset. Companies will depend on you to build a community, to grow their products, to drive sales, so the estimated salary and all will definitely increase. But yeah, not to worry. As a community manager, you are not left behind. You're definitely going to make a lot of money depending on how you start out, where you work and all. And just like every other thing, you grow up the ranks. Yes, you grow up the ranks. If you start off your community management journey and let's say you're earning 100,000 naira, I mean, in the next 1 year or less than 1 year, maybe in the next 6 months, you probably get a new job or you probably get a promotion, your salary increases like that. So you get up to the level of a community management expert or a lead community manager or something like that. Of course, as you go up those ranks, your money keeps increasing, and darling, you'll be counting in dollars while staying in your house and managing a bunch of people, right? So yes, I hope I did justice in today's video, basically introducing you into the community management space, how it works, what to expect, and salary expectations. And don't forget, this is going to be a series where I will be sharing valuable insights on community management, especially based off on my experience as a community manager for the past 6-7 years. And I will also be bringing in guests to also talk to you, community management friends, to also talk to you about community management, and basically you get to learn things from their own perspective as well. So yes, tell me in the comment section if this video was valuable to you. Let me know your feedback, and if you have questions or recommendations on any other video you'd like me to film on community management, feel free to drop them in the comment section, and I am definitely going to take in those recommendations. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share with your friends, and see you in my next video. Bye.